Hey guys, it's Yaya Diamond of Dreamchasers Radio. What's up, people? How you doing? It is a great day, and I'm so very excited. It is a good day, and it's getting better. All right, so it's getting better because I had my first interview of the day, and I am telling you, I'm so very excited about this one because this one is okay. It's a lady. She lives overseas, okay, and I'm not gonna tell you where because then you'll know what my T-shirt is all about. And I'm not giving that up, but what I am giving up is a free coding site for children. Yay! And we have our guest on the show. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, how do you pronounce your name? Is it Felienne or Felienne?
Felienne, yeah, quite good actually. My name
Oh,
is Felienne Hermans.
Felienne Helmers. I like that. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. That's so pretty. Wow. So okay, so you got to go back a little bit and tell us about yourself. So coding, that means you're smart. I mean, I'm just gonna say it.
Well, maybe, but I think one of the things that I'm trying to do with my platform is to show that you don't have to be smart to code. It's just like drawing or writing, right? Okay, some people can draw and other people can write, but everyone, all kids have a natural interest to draw something or to
Mhm.
write stories, right? And in the
Yeah.
same way, yes, of course, some people are going to be brilliant programmers, but also some kids are just going to use our coding platform, Hedy, to draw a butterfly with code or to make a nice interactive little story. It's not just to get the kids that are going to be brilliant at it to get coding, but just to show all kids that technology isn't only about watching YouTube videos, as fun as that is, but technology is also about being a creator online and building things that you care about.
I think that is amazing because I am not very smart. At times I can be, but most of the time I'm not. So tell me about the program and how did you come up with this? What was the idea?
So I'm a middle school teacher, actually. So my biggest job is I'm a university professor, but 1 day a week I teach middle school, 12-year-olds. So initially, when I started to teach, I taught those kids with a professional programming language called Python. Maybe people heard of it. This is a language that is, for adults. It's made for partly with YouTube is made with Python. But then Python is a programming language for professionals. So for 12-year-olds, for these seventh graders, it's just too complicated. There's too many bells and whistles attached to it. And also, might not matter for you people in the US, but my first language isn't English. My first language is Dutch, which isn't English. And then also, my seventh graders were really struggling with having to do everything in English. So, Hedy, our programming language, is easier. As you can see here, you see this print hello world. That's actually a program that already works. You simply click this yellow button and then you get the code and then you can play with it. So you don't have to read a lot of complicated syntax because initially it is actually quite simple and you can get started. And as you see here, you get some exercises as well. So this little pink part that you see there, that is the part where you have to do something. So you as a kid, a user of the platform, we take you step by step, giving you examples. And as I said, it's not just in English. As most programming languages, we actually support 51 different natural languages. So Dutch, but also Chinese, Hindi, Bengali, Arabic. So if your language isn't English and your kids are struggling with these English language programming languages, then this is also something that makes it a lot easier for kids to get started because they can just use their own natural language.
I love it. I love. Okay, now listen. Me personally, I'm an adult, but I'm a big kid. Okay, so this is gonna be perfect for me. I'm sorry. This is like okay. So you can. Okay, so kids can learn code by just playing around with this. I mean, I mean, I know you're a teacher, but when did you have time to do all this?
Yeah, so a lot of it I made in the COVID crisis when there
Oh,
was less school
yeah.
because everything was closed and there were no dinner parties, and nothing to go to. So I admit that COVID helped a little bit. But also, what is super important is our platform is free to use. So it's not,
Yeah.
you don't have to pay for it. And it is community driven. So, yes, I was the first person that started programming on it, but now we have hundreds of people around the world that are also programming on the platform. I do not speak 51 languages, I speak 2.5 language. And
Mhm.
all the content, all the translations, all the programming is done by a whole big group of people around the world that are also passionate about helping people learn programming. So
Mm.
I am just the person that started it, but now we have a large international community of people that want to help out.
Yeah, definitely. And I see there, and it says that, okay, start learning, start teaching.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yes. So we have sort of two sides to the platform. So
Mhm.
if you're a kid, if you have a 10, 11, 12-year-old at home, they want to learn, they can simply do start learning and they see the programming interface that we just looked at. But then after a while, I figured out that my target audience shouldn't be kids because not all kids have a computer at home. Not all kids are maybe motivated by their parents to start programming. I thought if I really, really want to make a difference, I have to market this to teachers. So we also have a side of the platform that's for teachers. So if you create a teacher account, which is also free, then you get access to our teaching guide. You can connect, we can connect you with another teacher that helps you get started. And then you have a nice little back end where you can see the progress of your students, who is doing what exercise, who is struggling, who needs help. So if we help teachers teach with this platform, then we will actually reach all kids, including the kids, and these are more likely to be girls or kids coming from a family where there's no computer, that think, oh, programming, this is not for me. Like you were saying, right? Oh, I don't have the right computer brain. Sadly, in most Western societies, girls already at a young age get this idea that they opt out of technology. It's like, no,
Yeah.
this is hard. It's not for me. Sometimes they come into my classroom, right? Seventh graders, they say, nah, I don't think I like programming. And I'm like, why not? And they're like, yeah, my brother told me it's really hard. So I don't think I can do this. So if we don't get the whole classroom, then some kids will be left out. So this is why we have this site for teachers as well. We have, as you see here, also this is built for the classroom. A
Yeah.
built-in teacher manual. We have PowerPoint slides ready to go that you can just start up, where everything is explained step by step. So if you're a teacher and you're also yourself a little bit shy about technology, you're like, well, I want my pupils to learn programming, but I don't know programming, then we have this whole wealth of resources for teachers so they can get started right away. And I think that's really something I'm maybe most proud of, right? Because a
Wow.
12-year-old that wants to learn programming, it's great if I can help them on their journey. But maybe a 45-year-old teacher that thinks, well, I'm never going to learn this. This is too hard. I cannot teach this. And we get those people. They send me emails and they say, well, Felienne, I was really skeptical. I didn't think I could do this. But then I got started and I get my students to do this thing that for me was also very scary. Then I'm like, yes, that's
Wow.
what I want.
Wow. So in retrospect, not only are the children learning, but the teachers are learning too. So this is kind of like one of those, if you're going to teach someone, I understand that, it's for children, but can adults or older children or people who've never thought they were ever going to be able to learn this, can they actually learn from this platform?
Yes, absolutely. So we get that question a lot. The only thing is that our exercises are a little bit made for 12-year-olds. So it's
Right.
like, oh, the princess has lost her sword in the woods. Can you retrieve it? Or, draw a butterfly or escape the maze. Like these are the type of exercises. But if
Right.
you're unbothered by that, then definitely you can learn. And the nice thing about Hedy is it starts very simple, but step by step, each level, we increase the complexity. And then the end of Hedy, our level 18, our 18th lesson, is actually really the programming language Python. So
Mm,
we bring you from something very, very easy slowly into the beginning of Python. And then if you are there, as I said, Python is a programming language that's made for Instagram, for YouTube. That is an actual professional programming language. So we see it really like trainer wheels, where you have an adult bike, but we put trainer wheels on the bike. And then after a while, we take the trainer wheels off, and it's like, now you have a real bike. This is Hedy as well. We take the Hedy training wheels off slowly, and then we're like, well, now you're doing Python. And this is something, of course, you have to learn more Python after this, but this is something that can actually lead you to doing some little scripts, making your own website, ultimately becoming a Python programmer. Python is the most used programming language for teaching worldwide. So it's
yeah.
really from there, the next step is easy to go.
Wow. That is so cool. Like Python is like gibberish. That's gibberish. So, but it's so good because okay, so like homeschooling parents can use this as well.
Absolutely, yes. We call this a teacher account, but we don't check if you're actually like a registered teacher. If you're an adult, you can just register for a teacher account. And then also as a homeschooling parent, you can make a little classroom of your own kids, or sometimes people teach in slightly bigger groups. You can make a little classroom for the kids you're teaching. And then also you can follow their progress. You can give them your own exercises. That's something we didn't talk about yet, but we have our exercises. But some teachers want to customize the experience. So as a
Oh,
teacher, you can also upload your own lesson plans into the system, and then you become part of our community. And if you want to, you can choose to donate your lesson plans to the teacher community, and then other people can also benefit from your lesson plan. And you get a little counter in your lesson so you can see that people are using your lessons. So you don't have to do this. You can just make something
wow.
private that's only for you. But as I said, I really want to build this worldwide community of content makers. And it's so cool because I have my experience, like I know my things, but we see so many teachers bringing in exercises where even I think like, oh, this is cool. I will steal this from my classroom. And then this allows people to bring their own context into the platform. Like
Wow.
one example, we have an exercise where you program a little counter for a restaurant. Like you go to Hedy restaurant, and then the restaurant asks like, oh, do you want a hamburger, do you want to get fries? So for me this makes sense. But then we did a project in Botswana in the south of Africa, and they said, yeah, a restaurant for us, it doesn't really make sense because kids here, they don't go to restaurants, they go to a food truck. Can we change this exercise into a food truck? And then
Mm,
hamburgers, we don't want to do hamburgers, we want to have our own local food. So
right.
they took this idea and they ran with it, and they made it very contextualized. And then for kids there, it makes so much more sense to say, oh, we go to the food truck and we eat this, rather than we go to a hamburger restaurant, which is for them not really an experience. So
Yeah.
there you see the power of sharing lesson plans together and allowing teachers that know the context of their students to make something that makes sense to them, so that they get excited about doing something that is for themselves a real experience.
That is so freaking cool. You don't understand. Like, okay, I get it. Kids, congratulations. Me. Okay, it's me. Because I understand that you're saying it's made for a 12-year-old. But a lot of us, okay, who have left school, like I got a message yesterday. Okay, I got a message yesterday. There was my 35 high school reunion. 35 years? It's been that long? Really? Oh my gosh. And I don't want to go back to school. I really don't. And it's like, okay, so going towards and learning something like this, even though you have to go through the 12-year-old thing, it may be beneficial for everyone, really. And I mean, if anything, you can register for the teacher account and do that side of it. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So we very much encourage everyone to try out the platform, even if you're learning a little bit for yourself. And it can also be fun, right? This is the
Yeah.
truth about adults that kids don't know is I also enjoy creating a butterfly with folding, right? We have this really nice exercises where you can make it colorful as well. So you make a little
Oh,
spiral and it makes the whole rainbow. That too is actually enjoyable if you're a
it
40
is.
something year old, right? There's
Yeah.
no upper limit on having fun. And we have stories, we make, you can make songs, like you can have it literally with a robot voice sing Baby Shark or Old
Oh
MacDonald, and
my gosh.
it sings, the robot sings the song for you. And so I actually also still think it's very funny if I have the computer sing a song, or I have some dirty words and I let the computer say them. This is actually fun.
But that is so cool. So I like it on both ends. I understand that coding can be a little bit complex, even for adults these days, because a lot of us don't understand it. And it's nice to know it. It's nice to even begin to do simple things, you know what I mean? But it also is great to teach your child. But the biggest point that I love is that it is free. It's free. It's free. And so this is gonna be, and again, I'm gonna put it's Hedy
Yes.
dot org.
Hedy.org.org. Yes.
Right, right. And so what I've done is in the corner over here, it says free code for kids. You guys can go ahead and scan that and put that in, on your phone like a picture, and it'll scan. Just press the website on your phone. It'll take you straight there. Or you can go to the website in the description box wherever you may be watching, and that way you can go ahead and get that for yourself. As you as the person who you spearheaded this whole thing and put up a free coding for children. What does this what does this accomplish for you? I mean, everybody has a goal, but what did it do for you?
Yeah, so one of the coolest things was that it allowed me to learn from so many different people, right? I was just giving this Botswana example, but also we have implemented most of Hedy also in Arabic. And Arabic is really different from Dutch and English,
Oh yeah.
my first languages. So I learned so much about the alphabet of Arabic. And then when we were implementing this Arabic version, the people from that community, they kept saying, right, oh, but we have different numbers. It's like, no, you have different numbers. And then, oh, look, we have this one character that you can use to make letters longer. It's like, oh, my language doesn't have this.
Oh my
So I
gosh.
learned so much about Arabic and about Chinese and about Thai and about Vietnamese because most computer systems are made in English. And once something is a certain way, it's very likely to remain that way. So most computer systems, like programming languages that are used to create new software, are also made in English. So no one has really thought of, yes, but how do you do this for Chinese letters? Or how do you do this for Arabic letters? And I, oh no, being a Western person, from a Latin alphabeted language, I had never considered these things. So it was just such a gift, right? That went very patient with me, teaching me like I'm a 6 year old. I'm like, really? Different numbers? I know nothing. So it was so great to work with that community and being allowed to ask all these silly questions about things I didn't know. Like, oh, wait, is a restaurant not a thing that kids go to in Botswana? All these different communities engaging with me. That has been just such a gift of free learning for me. And of course, also just the rewardingness of getting emails from. We get emails from like everywhere, like Pakistan, Afghanistan, South America, where people say, well, we used to do Python and it was really, really hard. And we switched to Hedy, and now our kids are so much more excited. They're so much more engaged. We really get everyone to do some programming. Then I'm like, yes.
Oh my gosh, that is so wonderful. That is just perfect. I mean, think about it. You know, you've accomplished. So, what is the next goal? What is the next thing that we can expect from the maker of Hedy? I mean, I'm literally waiting for that book.
Yeah, so I think there's much more in Hedy that we can improve. But
Uh-huh.
actually, you mentioned book. So one of the things that we're seeing more and more is that there's a very interesting tension if you want to learn kids programming between working on the computer and working outside, like not on the computer. Being on the computer is very motivating. We just, like, I'm a researcher, so we also research this. And one of my students just observed kids in a classroom. And then you see that on the computer, they get motivation. Look, I made a butterfly. But also there's distraction everywhere. Oh, I made a butterfly and now I'm on YouTube, right? Or they keep playing the same game, the same program because they don't know how to advance. So the computer is motivating, but also distracting, and it doesn't encourage deliberate practice. And we're seeing if we can append that, actually extend the platform with paper worksheets, which sounds weird if if you're a professor of computer science. But if we have kids work on paper, then there's no distraction. And we can give them worksheets, like, also in math. If you are practicing the tables of multiplication, you do worksheets, and that is boring, but it works.
It
So
does.
having paper worksheets in addition to our online platform is one direction where we're actually quite enthusiastic, because that will help kids do the practice, which, yes, we know it's boring, but also it works to specifically also help kids that don't have so much self-confidence yet. More practice, more deliberate practice will help them also get to this level where they can be more productive. So it probably will not be a book, but some paper sheets with the website that you can just print out yourself, to make it accessible to all people in all around the world. That's definitely something that is one of our projects that we're going to be taking up.
That is so good. I find that when I write things down, even when I was younger, I memorized it better.
Yeah.
It was kind of engraved in my head. Like if I wrote it down, it was engraved in my head. When with the computer, it's great, it's wonderful, and I find that too. It's like, okay, so I'm like, okay, I'm getting tired. I'm just gonna go ahead and play a game, and and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so yeah, so I get it. I really do get it,
Yes.
and I think going to the worksheets and having them printable is gonna be amazing. I think it's gonna be great. Wow, wow. So Hedy, you guys go ahead and go over to Hedy. I'm gonna go ahead and put that information in the description box, but on the top over there, let me go ahead and put us over here so that you can see up here we have the code. The QR code is right here. See that? You can get the QR code and go ahead and go to hedy.org. That's Hedy, HEDY.org. And check it out for yourselves, guys. I'm telling you, this is going to be a program that anyone can use, teachers, children, homeschooling. It's all free, and I can't wait for the worksheets to come through. I want to thank you so very much, Felienne, for being here, and I hope I didn't pronounce your name wrong.
No, it sounds quite good, actually. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. And what a wonderful thing you've done. Thank you so much for doing that. It's going to be so much better for so many different people. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. And don't forget to go check out hedy.org. And until next time, guys, bye.
Don't forget to follow us on YouTube and Instagram. Thank you for watching.